Alright guys and girls, so welcome back to 6.2 Part 2, Solving Equations Using Balanced Strategies. Reiterate, our learning goal is I will model and solve linear equations. The ICANNs for success criteria that we're focusing on for Part 2 are verifying my solution with substitution, solving symbolically, and recording my steps to show my work. You have to for this one. Okay, so we talked about in part 1 two types of ways to solve equations using balanced strategies. So modeling equations with variables on both sides, whether it's a pan scale, it's a pictorial diagram, and or if it's just a symbolic form. Using algebra tiles, it's all pictorial, and then solving equations with rational coefficients. Key word here is rational. Rational just means it's a fraction. So instead of something like, let's say, 3x, you're going to have x over 3. So question 7 here has 5a over 3 minus 3a over 2 equals 2. So there's one way how to do this here, and there's multiple ways, I guess. One common way some people might think would be, oh, well, I can add or subtract using a common denominator, but that might take a little bit. What a strategy is right away that I like to do is to just get rid of the fractions. I don't like dealing with fractions. Most people can't stand them. Most people aren't successful with them, myself included. I always had a hard time dealing with fractions. So one thing I like to do first off is to solve this equation, figure out what the common denominator is, and multiply every term. So this term, this term, this term, all by that same number. And that way we can just get rid of this. Okay. So let's take a look here. So for question 7, we have 5a over 3. And then we have 3a over 2. Now if we're having a hard time finding a common denominator, because we have a denominator of 3, a denominator of 2, I can just write out factors if need be. So I'll write out factors of 3, factors of 2, or multiples. So I have 3, I have 6, I have 9, 12, we can keep going if need be to 15. Let's just take a look at 2. So I got 2, 4, 6. Oh, well, these two here, 6 and 6 is what I have in common. So it just means I need to multiply everything by 6. So first off, first step numero 1, rewrite everything. So 5a over 3, take away 3a over 2 equals 2. That's the first step. Second part to that, multiply each term. You might want to write this down on the left side, but just star that. Actually, it's already starred. Multiply each term by that common denominator. So we're going to multiply this by 6, this by 6, and we want to say times 6. Times 6. Okay, and how this works is this is really 6 over 1. We'll multiply here by the whole number. So that way 6 divided by 3 is actually like, well, that's really like multiplying this by 2. Okay, because I can do 6 times 5a, and that's going to be 30a. 30a divided by 3 is 10a. Or 6 goes into 3 goes into 6 twice. 2 times 5 is 10, so therefore we have 10a. Do it how you like it. It is up to you. I like to try and simplify things right off the bat. So 6 over 2 is the same as saying 3 over 1. Okay, so 6 divided by 2 is 3. I always like to do this because, like I said, I hate dealing with fractions. 3 times 3 is 9, so we're going to say 5a minus 9a equals 2 times 6, that's 12. So we have A equals 12. Verify this. How do we verify it? We check ourselves. Check your answers. Let's just see if this will work. So if this is 12, the left-hand side will equal 2. So 5 bracket 12, and substituting A as 12, and I can even say let A equal 12. Scratch that off there. And then 3 12 over 2 equals 2. Well, let's see if this works. Well, 5 times 12 is 60. Okay, and I can do this kind of in one big thing here. So 5 times 12 is 60. 60 divided by 3 would be 20. Or I could do it like this. 12 over 3 is the same as 4 over 1. So 5 times 4 is 20. Same kind of thing there. 12 divided by 2 is 6. So this is really like 6 over 1. 6 times 3 is 18. You're seeing it. We're verifying it. We're checking ourselves. We're good. Okay, so therefore it works. You could write it out long form, like 5 times 12 is 60, and then divide by 3. You're just doing an extra step. You can do it, but if you want to simplify things, get there quicker, that's fine. Okay, last question. So if you have a variable on both sides, what I would recommend off first is taking this 2a minus 4. First off, this is just 1/2, right? So I could really say that this is a over 3 equals a over 2. I don't need to write that 1. Subtract 1. And now I'm going to move this over to the other side. So where I have a over 2, and it's positive on this side, on the other side it's going to be negative. So I have a over 3, take away a over 2. Where we have a 3 and a 2, we just talked about this. Our common denominator is going to be that we're going to multiply everything by 6. So multiplying this by 6, this by 6. Don't forget to put times 6. Okay, 6 divided by 3 is 2, so therefore this is 2a. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Do not forget about that negative. This is negative 3a. And we have negative 6. So we have negative a equals negative 6 if we combine those terms. So that means positive a equals positive 6. What you can do for this, I know it's kind of implied, is we can multiply both sides by negative 1. And I should put brackets around that. So I multiplied this by negative 1, I multiplied this by negative 1. And therefore I have a equals 6. Let's verify our solution here quickly. So if I have 6 over 3, that should be the same as, like I said, I could, I guess, do 2, 6, 4. So I'm just going back to my original question here, putting in the value of 6 where a was. So just check here, and you can just write check right up here. So 6 divided by 3 is 2. Let's see if this works out. 2 times 6 is 12. 12 divided by 4 is 3. 3 minus 1 is 2. 2 does equal 2. We are correct. We are good. We are verified. Thanks for your time. I know that seems a little bit longer. We did 2 questions, 10 minutes. Last time we did a lot more questions in a shorter period of time, or longer period of time. But these are the toughest ones you'll see for this particular part of the unit. But it's really important that you do show your work, get in the habit of writing out step by step. Where I don't have a page, I would prefer that you do show this all like straight down, so that even below here you do have your check, okay? Or if you would like to solve it over here and then check it to the right hand side. Keep your variables on the left hand side, please and thank you. This will come in handy as you progress with the math 9, 10, 11, 12, whatever you want to